Hey everybody, Jay here. So that winter storm we've been talking about the last video or two finally showed up. I don't know, 3 or 4 inches of snow, but the wind's been blowing 20-25 mile an hour. It's kind of rough, and I had one cow decided she wanted to have a calf today, so I went and picked that calf up, and this is our son Bryce. He's going to help me a little bit. But here's our calf. I throwed him in the truck, and he's been in here probably 45 minutes. I got him warmed up. She just had him probably 5 minutes before I got there. But cool story is, so I pull up there, and there's a coyote like 2 feet from this calf, and I think he was probably trying to get the afterbirth. But anyway, so I took off after the coyote. And the only gun I had in my truck was my 357 Glock, so I grabbed it and unloaded it on the coyote. Hit him a couple of times, and he was hurt and running away. So I think we killed a coyote trying to prey on our cows having calves, which we cannot stand coyotes. So they're thicker than all get out in this part of the country. But anyway, we're gonna find his mama and turn him back with her and see if he'll suck, and get his belly full, get him warmed up on the inside. After we got him all warmed up, we dump him out right here, and she'll claim him back, and hopefully he'll stick with her and go to sucking. He's pretty fresh. We'll watch him here for a little bit, see if he goes to sucking. You can hear her. She gives him kind of a little moo. That Mother Nature's way of kind of spurring him on, and she's licking his navel. That gets him kind of stirred up and gets him going, kind of gets him thinking like he needs to get his first meal. But if he doesn't suck here within the next few minutes, we'll end up probably putting him in this barn over here and get him out of the wind anyway, and get him put up in a tight area so they can stay out of the wind, and he can take his time trying to suck. And that wind's brutal, isn't it?
I didn't put on enough clothes.
Yeah. I think we better get him in the barn. He's still pretty weak. He's really new, so I think we'll stick him in the barn, run her in there too, get him out of the wind. Bryce is going over there to open that gate, and we're going to pick this calf up and hope she follows us, and we'll take him in that barn and put him up in a tight spot there where he can get out of the wind. This 15 mile an hour or 25 mile an hour wind at 15 degrees is kind of hard on everything. But a cow has when she first starts making milk, she makes what they call colostrum. The first couple of times that the calf sucks the cow, he gets a dose of her colostrum, which gives him basically a jump start. It's Mother Nature's way of jump starting the calf.
She went back over here, Dad. She took off back over here.
Come on. As long as she can smell him. You all right?
She's backing off.
If she can smell him, she'll be okay. Yeah.
Ball at her, Dad.
That'd get them out of the wind. She can finish drying him off, and hopefully he gets a belly full of milk. We'll leave him in here and I'll check on him later. These calves can handle pretty cold temperatures. The wind just knocks the tar out of them. I had another cow in Oklahoma that when I got done feeding, she was walking off by herself, so I'll go down there later and check to make sure she didn't have one out in the open. You know, we moved them in that last video. We moved those cows to get down in the bottom where they can stay out of the wind, and hopefully if she has one, that's where she went. But so the rest of the day is going to be checking this one, making sure he sucks, and then go check that other cow and make sure she didn't have one in a snowbank somewhere. So stick with us. So if you noticed when I was carrying that calf to the barn, and that cow, she tried to go back to where she last seen that calf. If you keep them up there where they can smell them and see them while you're carrying them, they'll stay with you. But whenever she turned around, I don't know if you heard it or not, but I bawled like a little calf. And when you do that, sometimes that triggers them to get a little, you know, bent out of shape. So you kind of got to watch it when you do that. That cow there, that's just her second calf. So she's not an older cow. A lot of times those older cows they don't want you messing with anything with their calf. So I thought she'd probably let me carry it just because she's a younger cow. But when you bawl like a calf in distress, you kind of got to be careful. Sometimes that triggers their mothering instincts and they change their attitude pretty quick. But she did good as long as they can smell it. There was one point there where she got downwind of me and she could smell him, so she followed me right in. But if they can smell them and see them, they'll usually go wherever you want them to go. So that's kind of how we did that deal. But it can be tricky sometimes. I wouldn't have tried that with probably 2/3 of my older cows, because they get a little, they're kind of like humans. Once they get a little age on, they can get a little sassy. So but I didn't figure she'd get too bit out of shape, and if she did, all I had to do is drop the calf and step away, you know. And a lot of times they'll go to the calf instead of staying with you, but not always. You really got to be careful. You got to be ready to move anyway. I'm gonna check these heifers' water real quick. I'll get out with an axe. I don't have the ball in on this side, so now I'm headed down to Oklahoma to check that one cow that was walking off by herself this morning. We may have to do the same thing with that calf and put them in the floorboard to pick up and warm them up. But hopefully she's a false alarm and we don't have one to deal with when we get down there. But I'm going to run down there and check real quick. But it's 19 degrees by my truck. don't last long. You know, they get chilled, and they're chilled clear to their core, and it takes a while. If you don't get on them real quick, if you don't find them real quick, you know, I've carried them around the pickup for 2 or 3 hours to get their core back to temperature. But that one, and she just had him right before we got there, and so he's looking pretty good right now. And being in that barn out of the wind is going to help him a bunch. They can handle some cold temperatures once they're dried off and they get a little milk in their tummy. So I think he's probably going to be okay. But if not, we have the tools where we can tube them, you know, put food down into their stomach with a tube. We can carry all that kind of stuff with us as well. We do what we can to try to keep them alive and keep them going. Cow 502 is the one I'm looking for, and right there she is. She don't look like she's doing anything serious. Definitely don't want a bunch of calves in this mess. You know it's cold whenever the blackbirds sit on top of the hay pile to stay warm out of the wind. Let's go in here and see. This calf is sucking yet. We'll leave him in here overnight. She'll be okay till tomorrow. His first meal, he don't need very much. Keep him going, but the big part is he's out of that wind right now, so I think we might have saved him, put him in the truck for a warm-up session and keep him away from that stupid coyote. We got many jobs out here, and one of them is getting rid of coyotes. There's so many of them, it's unreal. There he is, peeking underneath there. We'll leave him alone and give him some time to mother up here, and we'll check on him later. Well, I think it's been a pretty productive day. We saved a calf, I think. We killed a coyote. And I'm about froze. My feet need to be warmed up. So I think I'll go home and sit by the fire and get it going. Throw a little wood on the fireplace and warm up. And we'll try it again tomorrow. Jill, she stayed home today. She worked from home when she has opportunity to do that with her job if she needs to. So she did some computer work there at home. Hopefully she's kept the fire going while I've been gone outside doing these chores, but you know, sometimes it's kind of rough out here being outdoors, but man, if you like being outside, this is the way to go. We really enjoy being outdoors, whether we're working or playing. So she doesn't get to be outdoors as much as I do, but we still both love it. So we sure appreciate you guys stopping in, spending your time with us. And if you don't mind, subscribe, like, share, and leave us a comment. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.